walks onto stage. Good whatever, lady and gentlemen. The name is Elwood. Elwood P. Dowd. Here's my card. Pauses. My best friend is an invisible, 6'3.5" tall white rabbit, called Harvey. Pleased to meet you. Pauses. Harvey, the movie, is based on a successful stage play. It was released 4 years after It's a Wonderful Life, and stars James Stewart as Elwood P. Dowd. Oh yeah, before I forget. Spoilers. Hands over card. Elwood has his sister and niece living with him in his home. He is an independently wealthy bachelor. And from the comments in the movie, someone who is capable of holding senior positions in large public bodies. The only thing unusual about Elwood is his best friend, Harvey. Otherwise, he is a most amiable gentleman who feels he cannot ever have enough friends. Looks left. Unlike me, has he never met people? Looks right. Maybe his defense system is his insanity. Or whatever Harvey is meant to be. Pauses. In the movie, Harvey is very real, although very invisible. Elwood calls Harvey a pooka, a sprite able to take the form of a large animal. Which is a little contrary, as sprites are mythical creatures, usually slight and agile in nature. And they typically reside near fresh water. Like mosquitoes. Rolls eyes. Anyhow, Veta, Elwood's sister, is a little jealous of Harvey and tries to have Elwood committed to a local sanatorium, but ends up nearly being committed herself. Harvey's hand has a lot to do with the farce that plays out on screen. He is like an in-joke for the audience. The audience being a lot less scientific and a lot more fictional than today's, making Harvey an interesting anthropology as well as a quaint jaunt through a fictional tale. I only found one commentator who stated Harvey was their favorite film. It's a good story, but it lacks satisfaction other than Elwood being allowed to live his life the way he chooses. Most commentators never get past the superficial and fail to pick up on the rather wordy soliloquies. You get the feeling the author was trying to write a modern-day work of Shakespeare, indulging themselves in the world of fairies whilst holding the hand of science. Pauses. How do we perceive reality anyway? Elwood clearly sees Harvey. Harvey affects his environment. Does that make Harvey real? Maybe Elwood is only able to see rabbits when he sees a pooka, whilst others cannot even see rabbits. Perception is an interesting quality, open to fraud and exploitation. Harvey addresses this through Elwood's reasoning. Elwood even states, "Well, I've wrestled with reality for 35 years, Doctor. And I'm happy to state, I finally won out over it." When the Doctor tries to explain why Elwood sees Harvey, Elwood replies, "There's birth trauma. That's the one we never get over." It is Elwood's reasoning and charm that saves him from being committed. And Harvey, of course. Pauses. Is it worth walking through the plot? It was superfluous to me. Just a tale of an unkindly man being taken advantage of by family, who wins through with luck and charm, which James Stewart stated was his speciality. Pauses. Elwood's main problem was that having a best friend, who others could not see, unsettled everyone. It was also his main asset, as Harvey was a kindly sprite, and persuaded those who met Elwood not to take advantage of him. Harvey also made the perfect gentleman's companion. The farce in Harvey, the movie, was all about timing, and the audience understanding the conversation and play on words, whilst the actors did not. Pauses. At times you feel the writer tries to do too much, making Elwood a matchmaker, as well as a kindly gentleman. Nurse Kelly is infatuated with Dr. Sanderson, who does not see her beauty. Sanderson is too busy with the patients and tied to his ethical code of conduct to pay any nurse any attention, which is best practice today, but not so in the 50s. Smirks. Sanderson only sees Nurse Kelly as a woman after Elwood has invited them to Charlie's, a local bar, and encourages them to dance, having spent the entire evening flirting with and complimenting her. It's Hitch all over again. Unless Elwood is only into giant rabbits. Pauses. Other than the giant rabbit and charm of James Stewart, Harvey has quite a few long soliloquies, which are best viewed in context, although, since you have tolerated the whining thus far, I shall include here, with comment. Smirks. Buckle in. Pauses. Elwood explains that he is a very busy man to the Doctor in the alley outside Charlie's, the local bar. "What do you do, Mr. Dowd?" Elwood ponders. Harvey and I sit in bars, and play the jukebox. Soon the faces of the other people turn toward mine, and smile. They are saying, "We don't know your name, mister, but you're a lovely fellow." Harvey and I warm ourselves in all these golden moments. We have entered as strangers. And soon we have friends. They talk to us. They tell about the terrible things they have done. The big wonderful things they will do. Their hopes, their regrets, their loves, their hates. All large, because nobody ever brings anything small into a bar. And then I introduce them to Harvey. And he is bigger and grander than anything they can offer me. When they leave impressed. These same people seldom come back because they've told what they need to tell. And they've seen a little bit of a miracle. They no longer have a need to go back to a bar again. Pauses. Now, you could write an essay on the meaning of that. But a short pause and comment will suffice. Elwood helps troubled people see their lives in perspective. Either that, or they think you go insane if you drink too much. Smirks. Next up. Science. Harvey stops clocks. Pauses. Did I tell you he could stop clocks? Well, you've heard the expression. His face would stop a clock. Well, Harvey can look at your clock and stop it. And you can go anywhere you like, with anyone you like. And stay as long as you like. And when you get back, not 1 minute will have ticked by. You see, science has overcome time and space. Well, Harvey has overcome not only time and space. But any objections? Pauses. Now, you can read that in any number of ways. Depending upon your frame of mind. It's a play on words, with an amusing ending, but it is also a free trip. Should Harvey be real? Like in Doctor Who, and Rose? For example. Is Harvey a former incarnation of Doctor Who? Or a Time Lord? Probably not. The mentioning of space and time in such a movie is odd. The late 40s and 50s was part of the nuclear age. But what is with this space and time shit? Probably the author had read a little too much into Einstein. Or else toyed with fictional representation of physics. Pauses. Then there is Elwood's theory of pleasantry. Smirks. Years ago, my mother used to say to me. She'd say. In this world, Elwood, you must be. She always called me Elwood. In this world, Elwood. You must be, oh, so smart or, oh, so pleasant. Well, for years I was smart. I recommend pleasant. You may quote me. Looks left. Or both, if you can, at all, manage it. Looks right. Kindness, costs nothing. Pauses. When Vetter questions the sanatorium taxi driver. When he explains why he wants to be paid before Elwood is sanitized by the sanatorium. Afterwards, oh. What do you mean? Afterwards. He replies. They crab. They yell at me. Watch the lights. Watch the brakes, watch the intersections. They scream at me to hurry. They got no faith in me, or my buggy. Yet, it's the same cab, the same driver. And we're going back over the very same road. It's no fun. And no tips. After this he'll be a perfectly normal human being. And you know what stinkers they are. Pauses. I rest my case. Peace, I am out of here, word up. Exits stage left.